Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Here's a headline from you today. Strange activity continues on XRP with over 100 million tokens traded both ways in a matter of minutes. And so this news is coming on the heels of, some of you may have seen this news. I made an entire video about it. You may have heard about it elsewhere. A lot of people are talking about it. There is an insane spike in XRP volume, and I'll share with you a little bit about that just as a quick refresher, just kind of set the table, but there's been some peculiar stuff going on here. Also, I want to share with you some thoughts pertaining to XRP as a, as a number of things. Currently, I mean, there are a number of use cases, obviously. The most famous one, I think at this point it's fair to say, is Ripple positioning XRP as a bridge currency, but there are others trying to do similar things, like, for instance, Strike. That's run by Jack Mullers. That's their CEO and founder. And he's trying to do the same thing that Ripple started doing almost a decade ago, but instead of using a superior tech stack like the XRP ledger, he's choosing to start with inferior technology, Bitcoin, and hoping that the Lightning Network ultimately works while pretending like it does and lying to the public saying that it's all going to be free. Well, there's some comments that he made, and so just comparing XRP to Bitcoin is always fun. And so in light of these new comments, I thought I'd say just a few things on that, which will be a perfect segue into this because it's so clear how useful XRP is. Yet some people, my gosh, I don't know if it's because they're uneducated or if they're ideologically driven. I always assume it's one of those two. But look at this headline also from you today. Peter Brandt calls XRP garbage. And this is one of the most well-known analysts in the world of crypto. And he just thinks that XRP is absolute trash and a scam. He's called it an outright scam. He's also called it garbage, and it shouldn't exist. And it's so fascinating because if you just do 5 minutes of research, you can see that XRP is one of the only cryptocurrencies on the entire planet that is actually used in enterprise-grade software. It's functionally useful. And that's the one that's garbage? Interesting perspective. Kind of grinds my gears, folks. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So into this first piece we go. The end of last week, marked by the emptying of Jed McCaleb's toxic wallet, was accompanied by an abnormal increase in the volume of XRP transactions. So a couple things there. I think it's a little far to state that it's toxic. I mean, like I said, I've said this many times. I don't know why people have such trouble with this, but if you just, because people are saying, hey, Jed, he's been crushing the price of XRP, holding it down. Oh my gosh. Well, no more so than Bitcoin miners who continue to produce Bitcoin, because you're talking about Jed's XRP entering the ecosystem. You know, and mind you, it's already been issued, but if we're going to pretend like it's not issued because Jed has it, okay, fine. If you want to play, even if you want to play that game, which is not true, fine. No, in terms of dollars and percent, nowhere near the amount of XRP has been entering the XRP ecosystem compared to Bitcoin that's being mined by Bitcoin miners. So it's just a nonsense. It's like, are Bitcoin miners toxic because they're producing Bitcoin? I don't find that to be a very convincing argument. I really don't. And now you look at, okay, so now Jed sold all of his XRP. How come XRP is not $4? Why isn't it $4 suddenly? He's no longer selling, right? So that was the reason the price of XRP was so low. Might it actually be because there's not sufficient demand? Isn't it the demand side of things rather than just the supply side of things? Might that be what's going on here? Might it be the case that XRP is just moving in tandem with the rest of the market and Jed's transactions represented a very small percentage of global volume on any given day? Sometimes frequently less than 1%. Of course it wasn't present anyway. So, and I also don't think, so there was this abnormal increase as they cite here in terms of volume of XRP transactions, and there was, but I didn't see that lining up with Jed emptying his wallet. I mean, it was somewhat close, but there's no way that couple hours of activity, which I'll share with you more about in just a second here, there's no way that's what triggered it so far as I'm concerned. Anyway, piece continues. Trading volume then held at 18.7 billion XRP for 2 hours, which was 1,200% higher than usual. So take a look at this. This is live CoinWatch, and they're showing that XRP volume for the last 24 hours was just over 1 billion. You can see here where I'm circling. 24-hour volume for XRP, a little over 1 billion. And what we're saying here is that the trading volume for XRP itself was 18.7 billion. So if you figure what the price was at that point, I mean, what is that, like, depending on what the price was, what, 7-8 times higher than normal, something like that anyway. I've never seen that happen before. I don't know why, and it happened for a couple hours, and it just kind of makes you wonder, like, all you can do is sit here and speculate. It's like, her major amounts being held by major players moving around purely for some sort of testing for future actual activity, maybe XRP as a bridge currency. I have no idea. All I can do is sit here and speculate. I don't pretend to have the answer, but kind of gets the brain juices going, doesn't it? I mean, if anybody's got a reasonable theory on what that is or any additional evidence, since then I am curious. Anyway, piece continues. Today, however, the strange business around XRP continues as more than 100 million XRP, worth about $40 million, entered and exited the Bitstamp exchange in a matter of minutes. Pause to note, Bitstamp is an official partner of Ripple, utilizing on-demand liquidity. Just saying. It is worth mentioning that in the 6 hours prior to the Bitstamp transactions, $35.26 million worth of XRP was withdrawn from another major crypto exchange, FTX, according to Whale Alerts, a crypto whale transaction tracking portal. So it's pretty wild. And it was Santiment that reported on this volume. This is not exactly a fly-by-night organization. I reported on this. I had a whole video where it kind of went into detail here. And that was on July 16th. So it wasn't that long ago. Weird stuff happening here. But adoption will continue with XRP regardless of whether or not we ever find out exactly why those specific things are happening. Take a look at this from my fellow XRP YouTuber, Crypto Eddie. She shared a video clip, goes on for 1 minute and 55 seconds, and there are a couple portions that I did transcribe. And she shared her response in this tweet that's on your screen with timestamps talking about some of this. And so, again, this is Jack Mallers. He's the founder and CEO of Strike, which is basically, they've recently, within the last year and a half or so, started showing demos, basically, of money moving around, similar to the same tech demos that Ripple was doing like 7 years ago, literally. So a little behind there and starting with an inferior tech stack because he seems to have heavily drank the Bitcoin Kool-Aid, if you will. To me, it does not make sense. Like, XRP's heavily adopted. There's a lot of cryptocurrencies that have had a lot of money flow in, and there's potential for them. XRP is among the best and among the top cryptos, and has only been in the top 10 cryptos by market cap its entire existence. But there's a reason for all this. And so if you're actually looking to solve real problems for real people, I can't wrap my head around why you'd start with Bitcoin when XRP is because the problems with XRP, or with crypto, let me say that, the problems with crypto, generally speaking, that are some that are pretty common anyway, with mini coins, have to do with energy waste and how long does it take for finality in terms of settlement? What are the fees associated with on-chain transactions? You don't have those problems with XRP. So right out the gate, you're already leagues ahead of the competition, just right there. And so, mind you, XRP being the best cryptocurrency on the planet for payments, if you're starting a payments platform as he did, why aren't you starting with the best crypto for that? Like, I can't get in the head of these people, but it just makes you wonder. It's got to be either ideology, right? Or what? Heavy bags? Like, what is it? It just hasn't done the research. I mean, I could buy that. That would make sense at least. But let me share some of what I transcribed here. So there's a host. This is at a Bloomberg crypto event. The host said, "The biggest criticism of Bitcoin, other than non-believers saying it has no intrinsic value, is that it uses so much energy to mine." And Jack Mallers responded with the following. "First of all, using energy isn't a bad thing. Engineering and the use of energy is implied in the growth of humanity. You know what else uses a lot of energy? An airplane. So I tell you what, you don't like energy, the next time you and your wife go to Europe, you take a kayak, I'll fly United." So look, one point in a general sense where I can agree is that the energy problem with Bitcoin, while admittedly, it's not even like if you compare XRP to Bitcoin, there is no comparison. Basically, XRP is effectively carbon neutral, which is what's important to people today, apparently, businesses. So Bitcoin, yes, being comparatively an energy hog, okay, but do people perceive it as solving a sufficient problem for them today? The answer is yes. We'll see if that lasts forever. I don't know for sure if it will. I kind of hope that it will. And then aside from that, like in terms of the percentage of energy used on the planet, it's like, I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head. It's minuscule. You might as well round down to zero. So fine, yes, an energy hog compared to XRP, I admit that, which is why I'm like, I don't even know why you start there, since there is a better solution. You could avoid all this drama by just using different technology. So now you got this drama, which you knew existed. So fine, I would agree that the energy consumption, it's negligible in a general sense, and it's true. If you look at the legacy financial system, it uses more energy, like on a per capita basis. So I admit that, but it still doesn't make sense from my perspective. Like, given that the technology is there, why do you start with the inferior tech stack? But if other people, look, I don't get to make, I'm not a dictator. It's not like I'm Kim Jong-Ginzer. So if other people say, but no, I want this Bitcoin chain because whatever the reasons are for them, then I say, okay, go. And if it does use a lot of energy, then it just does. But it's still almost nothing. And even if Bitcoin used literally no energy and still just magically worked, it wouldn't change, because you know what they're screaming about. It's about the climate change stuff. It wouldn't change anything. It wouldn't. All right, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to look at this take this from a pragmatic approach, because I'm not a maximalist, so I can make, I think, reasonable arguments on this. Like, I get tired of the energy arguments, but I also am like, but you know the stupid humans are arguing this stuff, so why are you using it? Like, you don't need to start there if you're developing in the world of crypto. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then he ended up saying, people are just uneducated when they're talking about this energy stuff. Well, okay, but why'd you start with this knowing it's a problem? It's still just kind of bonkers to me. And so Crypto Eddie then pointed out virtual currency, which is be XRP defined by FinCEN. XRP is a currency. Because here's the thing, and he said stuff about creating money isn't free or some such thing. Check this out. Here's the quote. If we want an asset to have a commodity premium, creating money can't be free. Guys, what are we talking about? The fact that if a lot of people want to create more Bitcoin, it becomes more difficult is why the thing works. Have you lost your mind? Creating money cannot be free. And so, like, what do you mean it's just a stake in the network? So someone like BlackRock just buys stakes in the network? It's absolutely ridiculous. And then you also have to account for the laws of physics, which Bitcoin does. Okay, a little bit to unpack right there. Creating money can be free. Okay, so consider this. Fine. Like, before Ripple existed, Jed McCaleb got together with Arthur Brito and David Schwartz, and presumably there was some sort of monetary compensation to create XRP in the XRP ledger. But it's not like mining, where mining continually occurs to get Bitcoin out into the ecosystem. It's like you hired some people, they made a thing, and then it just existed. And now you are, fast forward a decade later, and people actually are. There's plenty of people on the planet that do use XRP as money. So for him to sit there and state that, it's either a bold-faced liar, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Because you can create a currency for free. Like, it's been done, unless you want to say, okay, it's not technically free because there might have been some sort of salary or something for like David Schwartz, and I don't even know, like, I don't have those specifics, but okay, if you want to say, okay, fine. But that's not what he means. He's talking about mining. You don't need mining and the energy hog to make all of this work. It doesn't make any damn sense to make that freaking argument. It's pretty silly so far as I'm concerned. Money can't be free. And then once all the Bitcoin's out into the wild, and there's no more mining being done, well, what the hell does it matter how it got out there? What's it matter if Bitcoin was mined and all XRP was created at inception? If it's all in circulation and say both chains exist 100 years from now and there's no more mining for Bitcoin a little over 100 years from now, well, what the hell does it matter at that point? His arguments won't even stand the test of time, which is why I just think this is so damn silly, And then Crypto Eddie pointed out, look, XRP flies, it's faster, cheaper, and more efficient. It just is, which is why I keep saying, like, I don't understand why you start with the inferior tech stack. And then you get garbage like this from Peter Brandt saying XRP's garbage. Take a look at this article. Prominent trader Peter Brandt called the XRP cryptocurrency garbage in response to a tweet about the sales of Ripple co-founder Jed McCaleb. Here's the quote. Just goes to show that even garbage can make a person a billionaire, end quote. The veteran chartist tweeted. Here's the actual thread. And there's another one too. Somebody named responded and wrote, "Old farts keep hating to stay relevant, LOL." And Peter Brandt responded to that and wrote, "Hating crap coins like Luna and XRP will always be relevant." And it's just amazing to me, like, do you want to tell Ripple's dozens of customers that are utilizing XRP as a bridge currency every single day that they're not actually getting a benefit out of that, and that it's not relevant, and that it's garbage? What do you know that Ripple's customers, their paying customers, don't know about how XRP is solving a problem for them? What do you know that their customers don't? It doesn't make any damn sense comparing XRP to Luna, which literally went to zero this year. It's just absolutely astonishing. I mean, you look at XRP, and today they did cite something kind of silly at the end. XRP is down as much as 89.49% from its record peak, underperforming other major cryptocurrencies. Look, XRP may be down, but so is pretty much everything else. Want me to prove this point? It's pretty easy. XRP is number 7 in market cap. Now, there are 3 stable coins in the top 10 ahead of XRP. That would be BUSD, USDC, and USDT. So if not for them, and they weren't there years ago, mind you, they were not in the top 10 historically speaking, XRP would actually be number 4 in market cap right now. The only ones ahead of it would be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Binance Coin, because Binance is the largest cryptocurrency exchange on the entire planet by volume. So XRP would be number 4, and you're actually sitting here that you're going to tell me it's underperforming compared to other cryptos. Well, then how come it's still number 4 in a world where we don't have stable coins in the top 10? How come nothing else is overtaking it if XRP is so underperforming the rest of the market? Well, it's because it's not true. It's a false narrative. Just calling it like I see it, folks. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.